Counting down to the 2022 Fiesta Bowl, literally now, with Eli Lederman, OSU beat writer for the Tulsa World. I am columnist Guerin, Emig. It's been a pleasure to cover the game for you this week. We are right up against the actual kickoff now, and we are trying to sort of clarify some things in OSU's camp, Eli, in particular about what Mike Gundy is going to do with his defensive play caller, his coordinator, now that Jim Knowles is long gone to Ohio State. Eli, we thought he might answer with one name this morning in his press conference, and that wasn't the case.
That's exactly. We were expecting today to hear, presumably, that Joe Bob Clements was going to be calling plays tomorrow, but indeed now it's going to be three defensive play callers for the Cowboys in the desert, and so it's going to be Joe Bob Clements, Tim Duffy, and Dan Hammerschmidt, assistants with 25 years of combined experience on Gundy's staff, calling the plays in some form or fashion. I think that question still remains, how exactly they're going to do it. What do you think it's going to look like?
I'm still trying to figure it out. Gundy broke it down and tried to delineate who might be responsible for what, and I think he left us and probably some of his fans, now that the news has trickled back to Oklahoma, a little confused. I'm not saying it's the wrong decision. Yeah. It's just unusual to potentially complicate the process, and not just because of the numbers, or that you got three instead of one, but this is a pretty important part of Oklahoma State's team. Yeah. Defense has carried the Cowboys as far, and instead of one guy being Jim Knowles, it's three subbing for Jim Knowles.
And you do wonder the ramifications beyond tomorrow. I mean, Mike Gundy said he would consider an internal hire for the permanent role.
Right.
And you know, it might have been an indication if one of these guys had been the guy, that guy had a shot. And now I think, like I was saying, with how it's going to work tomorrow, we're just left with more questions.
A couple of other things that we heard more about that we've covered this week. Jaylen Warren's health. I think this was about as resounding a vote of confidence that Gundy has given about the return of OSU's 1,000-yard rusher for the game. Sounds like he's good to go. And then something else that's hovered over this game and a bunch of others, of course, is COVID protocols and testing and players not being available. Marcus Freeman offered that Notre Dame has a full complement of players. And Mike Gundy said, what, one player has tested since they got here, and we're
assuming that the three who tested positive in Stillwater probably didn't make the trip.
Right.
And we're still not sure who those guys are, but yeah, one positive test for the Cowboys since they've been here in Arizona, according to Mike Gundy.
So it looks like we're going to get through this, we being those who are interested in a decent bowl game, in pretty good shape, and that's good. That's good to hear. One psychological aspect before we cut loose and actually count down to kickoff. Notre Dame has not won a New Year's Six bowl game, and this has become a story, especially among the Fighting Irish press corps, since the 1994 Cotton Bowl. I mean, it's been a long time since Notre Dame has shown up and played well in this setting. OSU doesn't have as much New Year's Six bowl experience, but Mike Gundy's 10-5 in the postseason, so maybe they've got that going for him in terms of that matchup.
And he spoke about his kind of bowl game success that he's built up over the last 17 years, and pretty remarkable. This is bowl game number 16 for Mike Gundy. Tomorrow is game number 1 as a head coach for Marcus Freeman. Yeah. So there's a little bit of an experience disparity there.
Starting to rain, believe it or not, here in the Valley of the Sun. So that tells us it's time for us to go indoors. Let you guys get back to your New Year's Eve. Please celebrate safely and happily. Eli, myself, and Ian Maule will be on the hand tomorrow in Glendale to cover the 2022 Fiesta Bowl, finally getting to kick off OSU against Notre Dame.